It's awful. That's awful. So I spend a lot of time by myself, and I enjoy watching movies. I'm sure you guys love movies. But I've started to rediscover some of my favorites from my childhood. Growing up, one of my favorites growing up was Willy Wonka. I don't know if you guys remember the original Willy Wonka with Gene Wilder. Oh, it's great. It's so great. But the one thing that still bothers me when I watch that is that bad guy in it, his slug. What slug? Slug. Grandpa Joe, that's it. Why don't we talk a little bit about this guy? Let's talk a little bit about the movie. If you haven't seen this movie before, or if it's been a while, let's recap. It's about a boy, 10, 12 years old, Charlie Bucket. Charlie shoulders 50% of the fiscal responsibility of the home by delivering newspapers. Charlie is the only kid in his school that doesn't have an English accent. And Charlie's last name is Bucket. Chuck Bucket. So the kid's got it pretty rough, alright? It's quite evident. But we all know his luck changes, right? He finds us some extra change, buys a Wonka bar, and what? Boom, a golden ticket. And what does he do? Runs straight home, and what happens? Well, Grandpa Joe, after laying in bed for 20 years and not getting a job, boom, all of a sudden he's not crippled anymore, is he? He's up singing and dancing and having a blast. Hey, Charlie, how was work today? Yeah, I just laid here. And what happens? He gets out of bed, and not only does he start singing and dancing, he starts singing in possessive contractions. I've got a golden ticket. No, Charlie has the golden ticket. Grandpa Joe, you have bed sores. And it doesn't stop there, does it? No. They get to the factory, right? They've signed a contract, right? They're on the line. This is legal and binding. Saying that they will follow the rules, and Charlie will get a lifetime supply of chocolate. 10-year-old kid, lifetime of chocolate. You kidding me? All right. And lifetime supply of chocolate on the line, right? But what happens? Old Grandpa Joe's up to his old tricks again, isn't he? Hey, Charlie, come here. Why don't we steal some fizzy lifting drink? Oh, Wonka won't notice. Don't worry about it. I'm Grandpa Joe. I sing and I dance and I burp and I float and I have a mustache. Everybody loves me. Hey, is that Grandpa Joe or Hannibal Lecter? I can't quite tell. One of them eats and devours people. The other one eats and devours the hopes and dreams of his 10-year-old grandson. We're only halfway home in the movie at this point. It gets even worse. End of the movie, or not even the end. So they steal the fizzy lifting drink, singing and dancing. What a selfish bastard. And you know what? If I keep talking about it, I'm just going to get more upset. So why don't we talk about 9/11? You guys gotta hang with me on this one, okay? You gotta trust me. I'm in charge here. Alright? I'm at the driver's wheel. Trust me on this one. I'm gonna pose you a serious question. No laughs on this one. Could you ever imagine if New York were to name a professional sports team after the tragedies of 9/11? Unimaginable, right? Totally outrageous. Not that crazy. You wanna know why? Because it's already happening. Not in New York, not yet, but it's happening right here in Chicago. And I'm talking about the Major League Soccer team, the Chicago Fire. Because isn't the Great Chicago Fire like the biggest disaster in our history? 900 people dead, 100,000 homeless, mascot! Could you imagine if their whole conference did this? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's game between your Chicago Fire and the visiting Oklahoma City Alfred P. Murrah Federal Buildings. It looks like the Fire have their hands full today, but after all the off-season disposal made by Oklahoma City, the Federal Buildings are simply half of what they were a year ago. And we saw the Fire do well last week against Pompeii. That's right, the Mount Vesuvii just didn't have enough foot speed to outrun the Fire. And with the wind today, the Fire looked to pick up a game in the Win Kalaman League in New York. Yes, that's right, the World Trade Centers just refused to fall from first place, proving they have the metal to withstand the Fire. Shame on you, Chicago Fire. Now, some people are a little uncomfortable with that for obvious reasons. It mentions 9/11. The joke isn't about 9/11. It's about the Chicago Fire. I just use it as an example. But I understand that. Like, I completely understand that. Like, it's way too soon. It's one of those things that comedians really can't attack directly. And I know I still get uncomfortable when people ask me what time it is, and it's 9/11. You got the time? Yeah, it's, yeah, I got 49 to 10. I'm sitting on 49 to 10. Anyway, guys, that's my time. You guys have been wonderful. Just one more thing I'd like to say. I will be reading all 3 parts from the last page of the script. Charlie. And that's why you sent out the golden tickets? Wonka. That's right, Charlie. Now the factory is yours. Grandpa Joe. What about me?